my old computer, which is what I'm
News Talk
using.
760 WJR.
Good Tuesday morning to you. It's the 16th day of June, the 168th day of 2020. There are 198 days left in the year we'll never forget. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. Did I see a rooster go by on the screen for a second, or was I just
I
hallucinating?
don't think so. I think you were just seeing things.
I thought, honestly, Rich, I thought out of the corner of my eye, I saw a rooster go right by.
I did too.
Oh, no.
I saw one too, Doug.
I'm telling you, I think. Did you do that, Rich, on your own? Did you do that?
You guys are into the hydroxychloroquine. I don't know what
Very useful drug. I've never seen a drug so besmirched in all my life. They came out with more bad news about it again yesterday. Just astonishing. Just hope that the president never says anything good about any one of us, because then we'd be in big trouble. Hey, Dick, what the heck? Are these like... I hate to put it into such simple, petty language, but what a bunch of kids these Koreans are, huh? I'm really mad at you, so I'm going to blow up
We're going to blow up the building.
Office.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not happy with the way things are going. So we have a liaison office that we've been trying to work things out together with since 2018, and I'm blowing it up. What punks? What are we dealing with here? It's just unbelievable. Not
Start
happy.
with animals and work your way down.
Yeah, that's right. Start with animals and work your way down. You're absolutely right. These guys are as morons. North Korea blew up a liaison office shared with South Korea, dramatically signaling its displeasure after weeks of threats to end the détente. That's dramatically signaling. That's
right.
I'm speechless when it comes to
all
this.
the criticism that President Trump and the administration have received for not being able to make real progress in these negotiations with the North, right? That's been going on for 3 years, ever since Trump took office.
Right.
How do you negotiate with these people?
You can't negotiate with these people, and he should stop trying, and we should move on. Get our people out of there and move on. I don't know. Just doesn't make sense. So what else happened in the news world? I was kind of out of it.
Oh, it's such a large world.
I know.
President Trump is going to come out with an executive order today on police conduct or misconduct. You've got the North blowing up the buildings. And with all the crisis about coronavirus. Remember, we do have a pandemic going on. Have we forgotten about that?
No.
Michigan reported the lowest numbers in weeks of new cases and deaths. So how do you argue with what the governor did?
Well, we have a guest who's going to do that, and I don't know how. But later it was, wasn't it Ingrid that said to us?
Ingrid Jacques.
Ingrid Jacques said to us yesterday when I brought up to her that this study in London said that what our governor has done was in fact probably responsible for saving tens of thousands of lives by doing what she did. But she said, Ingrid said, well, Patrick Anderson, principal and CEO of the Anderson Economic Group, has a study that disavows that. Now, I don't know if that means that he is going to say from an economic standpoint that it wasn't worth it, but it's going to be a tough putt to say any number of lives would be worth trying to save the economy. That's not the way that people look at these sorts of things. I don't know. I'm looking forward to speaking to him in the last hour of the show today, and we'll see what he has to say. If you
don't have live customers, how do you have an economy?
Well, that's true, too. That's a good point here at 5:43.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
We're all feeling the weight of COVID-19, but for kids in poverty around the world, things are becoming desperate. Join Compassion International and provide for a family in poverty. Make your one-time $40 gift. Text HOPE to 83393.
All righty, let's find out how we're doing out there on this Tuesday morning. Our WJR traffic and weather first, and Rich Lozinski.
WJR Traffic First is sponsored by the Metro Detroit chapter of Sheet Metal and Air Conditioning Contractors National Association, SMACNA. SMACNA contractors fabricate, install, and service heating and cooling, ventilation systems, build metal roofing, and much more for your commercial, industrial, public, or residential project. They take all the necessary precautions, getting the job done right and on time. Hire Detroit's best. Visit smacnad.org. No accidents at the moment, fortunately. The roadway's reduced to one lane on I-94 westbound between 9 Mile and Connor Street. Only the left lane is open. It'll be like that, well, around till 5 p.m. And the US 23 northbound ramp to M14 eastbound is closed for repairs. Now WJR weather first from the Weather Channel. Sponsored by Starline Mackinac Island Ferry. Hightail it to Mackinac Island on a Starline Mackinac Island hydrojet or catamaran ferry. A new pirate ship, the Good Fortune. Starline offers the largest open-air boats disinfected before every trip, with fares starting at $19. Get discount tickets and vacation packages at MackinacFerry.com. Here's your forecast.
Continue to be in real good shape as high pressure's in, sun's out, and no rain in sight. A few clouds around this morning, comfortable. Sun and clouds and comfortable this afternoon, 82. Tonight, clear, 56 in town. Suburbs a little cooler. Tomorrow, sunny, 84. Thursday, plenty of sunshine with highs staying in the middle 80s. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Staging on News Talk 760 WJR.
Was Rush on yesterday? Did he make it? I did not have a chance to listen. I did not hear. He was. Good. His plan was to make it back yesterday after the first 3 days of this last week where he had treatment for his lung cancer. He was hoping to make it back Thursday, Friday, but he, even a week ago, was betting that he probably couldn't. But he did make it back yesterday. That's good news. And he's here this morning on WJR at 5:45.
Last week, Speaker Nancy Pelosi continued her pander campaign to show solidarity with rioters vandalizing statues in blue cities throughout America. She called for all Confederate statues to be removed from the Capitol grounds. Now, California Democrat Barbara Lee teamed up with Mississippi Democrat Bernie Thompson on a House bill to banish the relics of the Confederacy back to their original states within 120 days. New Jersey Democrat Cory Spartacus Booker introduced a Senate bill seeking to do the same thing. Now, these Democrats are trying to erase the history of their own party. The Confederate statues come from states then controlled by Democrats. It's the Democrat Party that gave America the Confederacy, the KKK, state-sponsored segregation, and Jim Crow. But one of these Confederate statues should get a new home up north. Now standing in Statuary Hall is the likeness of Uriah Milton Rose, a lawyer who was fiercely loyal to the Confederacy. In 1865 in Little Rock, Arkansas, Uriah Rose founded the Rose Law Firm. Many Clinton administration notables worked there at the Rose Law Firm, including Hillary herself. Now, instead of sending old Uriah to collect dust in some warehouse, his white stone statue ought to be sent to the Clinton's estate in Chappaqua and sit dead center right there on the front lawn as a constant reminder of Democrat history.
Rush Limbaugh, noon to 3 today, right here on WJR.
Good morning to all of our listeners this morning. Clay, Patrick. We have a lot of people awake this morning already. Kathy, Mike, Ron, Steve.
Where's Curly? Clay is asking. I'm guessing he is meaning Dana. Dana's off this week, Clay. Would he be calling her Curly?
I don't know. Good morning, Don. I'm not sure.
So Patrick Anderson comes on at 8:35.
Yes.
And he's taking away all of the credit that has been given to the governor for saving lives. He says that's not what the report says. And that's interestingly not what's going on. I see that you found Dr. Carol Hunter.
Yes, and there's a little bit of a story with regard to that. So Dr. Hunter, she was added into the story about hobbies. Her actual research, which is equally as interesting as hobbies and very similar, is that if you go outside, and I think it's for 20 to 30 minutes at a time, it's like taking a nature pill, and that nature pill significantly reduces stress for you. So just being outside, whether you're doing,
it's like getting your vitamin Z from the zoo.
it's a perfect way you describe that. Yes.
So getting out in nature, even just sitting in your backyard,
yes,
is supposed to be very significant.
Yes. So
what time is she on?
She's on at 8:18.
8:18. Okay.
But she sounds really interesting because, like, right now during this time of year, just step outside for 20 minutes.
We spent a lot of time outside yesterday with some friends. It was fabulous.
And it feels good, doesn't it?
Therapeutic. Yeah. Absolutely therapeutic. Yeah. I'm afraid that because friends were coming over, my desk got the cleanup.
Oh, you had a cleanup on the desk.
Yeah,
that could be troubling now. That could be a problem.
It's trouble. Nothing but trouble.
Because now there's a few things you can't find.
Well, I for example, I had Susan Tompor's newspaper story here, and it just looks like another newspaper story. But unfortunately, it was the story that I said to you I wanted to have her on to talk about.
It's another good story about stimulus money.
People getting their stimulus money in the form of a credit card or a debit card. It looks like it, and it looked like it was somebody trying to sell you another card. And we all get those and throw them away.
I know.
People threw away their stimulus money.
Can you imagine? And how are you going to get that back?
Well, it's not going to be easy, but she is going to be here to tell you how to get that back.
You know who else we can talk to about that is the governor. We have the governor at 7:18, and that's why I had to move Susan to 7:35. But we should talk to the governor about Patrick's thoughts.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And can we get the stimulus money? Maybe she'd have some ideas on how you could get that stimulus money.
Well, it's federal, and I doubt it very much, but we'll see. I mean, there's got to be some other things in the news.
Oh, there is. There's the emergency money for everything going on in Midland.
You're hearing the Paul W. Smith Show, News Talk 760, WJR.
It is 5:51 on this Tuesday morning edition of the Paul W. Smith Show, and we have Dick Hafner handling our news, which we appreciate, Richard. Rich Lazinski is in, and he's handling traffic and weather, a little color along the way. Brian Morton is back in the studio with a big smile on his face. He had a big walk, 3-mile walk yesterday. Good for you, Brian. Saw a little bunny rabbit along the way I saw on Instagram. Kim is here, up and at him, and helping out. We appreciate that. That's the fun of doing it from home. Besides that, wherever we do the show from, Ann Thomas, our executive producer, is hard at work.
Well, good morning, Deb. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday to you. You know, you say this mic sounds better, but I don't like it right in front of my face like this. It just is annoying when I look up and see this new mic for the.
You can't adjust
audio.
it.
You know, it seems like it would be good if it were able to come off to the side, but I don't think it sounds as good.
Right. Yes.
It's more of a old-fashioned Tonight Show microphone that they had at the side of the desk that's just there to kind of as a prop, you know. But this one's real. I could put it off to the side a little bit, but not really the way I would like to. Meanwhile, what were we just talking about?
So one of the things when we talked to the governor this morning, can you imagine having a cottage or living in Midland on one of those beautiful lakes that are now completely drained?
Yeah.
That is a tremendous loss. What are they going to do about that? And are they going to be able to eventually get it where those people can have their cottages again?
Well, remind me to ask her that when we get around to that. But it's kind of reminiscent of, remember how we went for a few years talking about how low the lake levels were?
Yes.
There were a lot of people that had their cottage houses, not necessarily up north, but closer to home here, where their docks were out on mud. They couldn't even bring a boat up because the water was so low. Then we went with the water being too high, and now we're going to whole lakes disappearing. It's like crazy. It is absolutely crazy. The longest day of the year we mentioned yesterday is June 20th. The summer solstice coming, and you
Saturday.
can live stream the summer solstice from Stonehenge for the first time ever. It's nothing that's I've never sat around saying, geez, I wish I could live stream the summer solstice from Stonehenge. Never has occurred to me.
Are you
sorry.
going to do it this time, though?
Call me a
Be a
loser.
rock star.
Right.
Yeah,
Are you going to do it?
Rock star. I get it. If Kim does it, that's fine. If I try to do it, I'll blow up the computers worse than I have. What do you do when you've forgotten your password for your computer? Is there anything you can do? I was depending on the finger. Well, that sounds bad on the radio.
It does, yeah.
It was a touch. It's a touch ID thing, like for my phone. But unfortunately, if you turn the computer off, when you turn it back on, you got to go through the password again. I don't remember it at all because I only have about 87 passwords in my little brain. And I wrote it down in my phone. And when I went to look for it, it has disappeared. It's like it says MacBook Pro, and there's nothing there in terms of my password. So I have no idea what I'm going to do. It's a brand new computer. I'm not going to throw it away.
No. Don't they know what to do at the actual store? Could you make an appointment?
Are they around yet? Are they open? I don't know. We live in Grosse Pointe now, so we're not close to an Apple store. That's out on the other side of the world. You need your passport to go there. I was talking to Joe Vicari. You know what happens with Joe? It's very funny. His phone calls me all the time.
You mentioned that.
It happened again a couple of days ago. Phone rings. I look in. It says, "Oh, Joe Vicari," and I go, "Hello, Joe," and I hear, and I realize like I'm in his pants pocket or something.
You probably are.
And that he didn't call me. His phone called me again. So I called him back thinking I would leave a voicemail, but somehow it hung up and he answered. And they've got this great thing at Andiamo's for Father's Day. Celebrate Dad with an Andiamo feast. Dads eat free.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
If you come into Andiamo with your family, Dad gets to eat free.
Does that include Godfathers?
Nice try. I don't think so, but what do you got to lose, Rich?
Yeah.
Give it a shot. They also have a Father's Day grill to go package for $49.95, and it serves two people, and they'll give you all the stuff. 2 full slabs of spice-rubbed baby back pork ribs, mango bourbon barbecue sauce, redskin potato salad in mustard vinaigrette with herbs and mixed beans, chocolate chip skillet cookie, add a slab of ribs with barbecue sauce for $25 per full slab, add 4 breasts of chicken piccata, $16.95.
You'll have to go out
pick
and
it
walk
up
3 miles with Brian.
Yeah, absolutely. But it sounds like it'd be worth it, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Sounds
It
wonderful.
is 5:57 at WJR.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
We're all feeling the weight of COVID-19, but for kids in poverty around the world, things are becoming desperate. Join Compassion International and provide for a family in poverty. Make your one-time $40 gift. Text HOPE to 83393.
I think I have to go like through a minefield to put my coffee down and to grab my clock, and I got to work this out a little better, this desk. But I'm glad Rich Lazinski has things worked out. He's got our WJR traffic and weather first, don't you, Rich?
I sure do. WJR Traffic First is also sponsored by Operating Engineers 324. Operating Engineers 324 run the heavy equipment that's building Michigan's roads. Remember to slow down and pay attention at work zones. For the workers' safety and yours, OE 324, we build, we operate. we maintain. Visit oe324.org. Your right two lanes are closed on 8 Mile eastbound between Gratiot Avenue and I-94. The roadway is reduced to 1 lane on I-94 westbound. That's between 9 Mile and Connor Street. And US 23 northbound ramp to M14 eastbound is closed for repairs. Now WJR Weather First from the Weather Channel. Sponsored by the Restore Wellness Center. Tired of dealing with nagging body pain, joint swelling, tendonitis, neuropathy, and chronic pain? The Restore Wellness Center will reduce or eliminate the pain completely. Reserve your appointment today at the state's best non-invasive laser therapy treatment center. Call 800-935-5959 in Brighton, Shelby, and Bloomfield, or restorewellnesscenter.com. Clear skies at 58 degrees. I'm Rich Luzensky, WJR News, in about a minute.
Rich, I know I saw a rooster there.
I don't know what you're talking about. You guys are seeing things.
It's early. It's possible that we're seeing things.
Yes, you're still tired, and perhaps you were dreaming.
It was very brief. He did just appear across, but we have not had a rooster in this show. We have a rooster every morning sound wise, but I've never actually seen one.
Sure.
And it would make sense that there would be a rooster somewhere.
I would think so. They're elusive, though,
They are, yes.
It's not like your deer who come right up to your window and beg for food.
I have developed a very, I'm not very nice about those deer. I try to be, but it's extremely frustrating to have beautiful flowers and literally come out the next day and they have eaten the entire tops of the plants off.
They do a number on my folks' garden outside too. It's too bad. They're so precious and cute, but they're dangerous when it comes to your vegetation.
I wonder we use a product called Repelzol that really works, but you have to keep applying it because if you don't apply it frequently, like if it rains or you have really heavy rain, then it just, washes it away. I wonder what else would work. Somebody said cayenne pepper. Maybe some of our Facebook people up with us this morning could give us some ideas because have you heard of anything?
The stuff you're using right now, I think uses putrescent egg solids, which is like it's a
terrible smell
that they don't like. Yeah. But the red pepper is actually a slight agitation, I think. Like it doesn't really hurt them, but it agitates them slightly and it makes them not want to go back to that.
The red pepper?
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to get an awful lot of red pepper, but...
Yeah, but I think that would wash away too if you have a heavy rain. Anything I don't think is going to hold up to a real big thunderstorm. That's a tough call.
Patrick, that's me, Ann, who replies to the comments because I want to make sure everyone who gets up with us every day realizes how much we appreciate it. So thank you. And thank you for getting up with us every day, by the way. Hey, Paul, we're talking about maybe because we're home more, but I've been watching the deer and they're eating us out of house and home.
I bet.
It's unbelievable. They eat everything.
I just
I
saw
was wondering what you could use to.
My sister Allison showed me a garden that they had in their yard on, FaceTime or whatever.
Sure.
And I said, don't you have any deer or anything around there? Because that looks in pretty good shape. And if you put a little garden in our yard anywhere, the deer would be all over it and eat it. And she said, can't you see the fence? I couldn't on the FaceTime. I could not. So she has a fence around it.
What kind of a
around
fence?
The garden?
Is it like a green fence or what does it look like?
I couldn't see it, so I don't know. It just must be. I don't think it was chicken wire, but it's something almost as thin as that. Now, Bill Cox is saying shave off strips of Irish Spring, leave them around the border of your flowers. They don't like the strong smell.
I tried that. And for some reason, Bill, they didn't mind it here.
They didn't.
No, they didn't. It was kind of like, well, this is all right. I'm hungry.
And then Patrick, say that again.
Have you tried liquid fence? They say it's rain resistant, but I don't know how good that is.
Never tried
Oh,
that.
liquid fence. It's a chemical that you can use.
Oh, Kathy says use a tall green fence. That would look better because you
Yeah,
know,
yeah. Well, if it's in the backyard, I mean, depending on where it is. Patrick Mendes said, call Rose Pest Solutions.
actually, yeah,
It's
maybe
not a bad idea,
that's not a
Patrick.
bad idea at all. Good morning, Emily Gale.
Emily. Aloha, Emily. She's watching in Hawaii. What time is it in Hawaii right now?
Oh, it's got to be.
I can tell you in a second here.
Jackie says use marigolds. I've heard that, Jackie. Clay says he killed one with his car. No, Clay, that was.
Clay.
But I think maybe the deer ran into Clay.
Not a good solution, Clay. Police are not going to be very sympathetic if you're in the middle of someone's yard and you hit a deer by the garden. Just in case anyone was planning that. What time is it?
Clay says it's midnight. Is that possible? Wow.
I don't know if I guess I have to go to my world clock.
Yes.
Maybe I don't. I had the. Oh, I know. Just 6 hours behind us.
So Clay's right.
Clay wins the prize. Tell Clay what he's won.
Yeah. Emily says it's just after midnight. Oh, wow. So she hasn't even gone to bed yet.
World clock. So in 7:04 p.m. in Tokyo, in case anyone wondered, Jerusalem 1:04 p.m., Beirut the same 1:04 p.m., Florence 12:04 p.m., Honolulu 12:04 a.m., London an hour behind them 11:04 a.m. Oh, what did we do before our little smartphones? We had a simpler life. I'm not going to say it was better. I'm just going to say it was
simpler.
Simpler, yeah, simpler.
Well, I don't know.
Did you see? I find it. We want to do this on camera all the time and for the whole show, but we have to get a routine where, people tune into WJR to hear the news because we do it so much better than anyone else. And the way it's set up right now, they're not hearing the news. We got to get that figured out.
But they can listen on their other
The Paul W. Smith Show, News Talk 760, WJR.
Good Tuesday morning to you. It is the 16th of June, the 168th day of 2020, and there are 198 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. The team is here on social media where you can hear us and see us for the next few minutes. And on 760 on the AM dial where we are 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're in the Paul W. Smith RoundTable right now with Dick Hafner, WJR News, Rich Sluzinski keeping track of the traffic and weather for us. We have Brian Morton pressing all the right buttons in the booth. He's in the Fisher building. And the music just seemed to just drop off a cliff just then. I don't know if it sounded like that on the air or not, but there it went. Kim is here helping out. We appreciate that. And, of course, our executive producer, wherever we are, Ann Thomas. And we were going to be some places I don't know if it was this week or next week, but now we're not going to go up to Grand Hotel. We're going to do it all virtually again.
Yes. So tomorrow we are going to go to Mackinac Island, and we are going to be with Jerry Fetty and Starline.
Uh-huh.
And then we're going to learn more about that pirate ship. So there's some kind of a really cool pirate ship that they're going to talk to us about. Right.
Yeah.
So say that again.
It's called the Good Fortune.
The Good Fortune. Okay.
The pirate ship is called the Good Fortune.
Yeah.
So he's actually going to be on with us, and we're going to be able to see the pirate ship. So he's going to try to do the interview from the pirate ship. So
what
that
I
should be
affectionately
kind of fun.
call on Barnyard, which is really
Yes,
StreamYard.
yes, Paul likes to call it Barnyard.
Um,
And then on Thursday, we're going to go to Traverse City, courtesy of Wallstrom Marine,
Again, virtually.
virtually, yes.
Yeah,
And
okay.
then next Monday, when Grand Hotel opens, we will be there virtually. So
Okay.
we will learn more about that.
Our
So
whole lives may be virtual from this point on. As some doctor is saying, the second wave of COVID-19 has begun.
right.
We're hoping that's not true, but that's what they're saying. And by the way, I keep saying the longest day of the year, June 20th, because that's what we say, but it's not true. Does anyone know why it's not true?
No.
Because all days are exactly the same in
24
length. There.
Oh,
yeah.
wow, yeah.
Oh, you
Doesn't that
spoiled
mean the
sport pig.
longest,
It means the
most light?
light.
Right.
We get the most light for the summer solstice. That's that.
How many hours of light do we get for that?
20, 15, 20. I said it on the air yesterday. I don't remember. Can you hear us, Kim? How many hours of light? 15 hours and 16 minutes. I knew I had it yesterday. That's what she gave me yesterday.
That's a
But I
lot.
also said it was the longest day of the year yesterday. But it's not true. And I still probably am not going to watch it from Stonehenge. Really? I don't know. But people can do it for the first time ever. I'm surprised we don't have commercials on for that. Coming up this Saturday, live from Stonehenge.
You should do a remote. Get it
Well, we
sponsored.
could virtually. Let's just pretend Saturday that we are doing a remote virtually from Stonehenge.
Couldn't they sell the names of the rocks?
You're always thinking, Dick. That's why we love you so much, because you're
New profit
always
center.
thinking. So Patrick Anderson will be here, and he, first of all, I don't think the governor claimed the Imperial College study. When I saw the Imperial College study, it wasn't from her or her people. I just saw it as a story out there. But it says here, even the Imperial College study that was cited by Governor Whitmer, it wasn't Governor Whitmer who cited it to me, doesn't say Michigan's executive order saved tens of thousands of lives. Interesting. Because that's what I read in the in the news report of the study.
Exactly.
Saved tens of thousands of lives. But anyway, Patrick Anderson of the Anderson Group, will have his say on that coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. You hear some businesses are trying to reopen are having trouble hiring people.
Yes.
That's
Big trouble.
an issue right now. That's a big problem, and people who want to bring their people back are still fighting the fact that they make they make more money if they don't work. That's always a mistake. That is always a problem. If people are, it goes back to my conversations with dear friend Ron Gettelfinger, who was running the UAW, when I said to him that Jobs Bank in the end is a bad idea. But he explained to me the things that the union workers had to give up, which got them the Jobs Bank. But I said, having people sit at home and get paid is not good for the person sitting at home and getting paid. And it really isn't good for their children to watch mom and dad and say, huh, that's interesting. They work for the car companies, but they don't really have to do anything and they get paid. Huh. It's not the way we want to raise our children either. Anyway, they got through all of that and they've been doing very well.
I
And
wonder what percentage, Paul, of workers are concerned about going back and being afraid of getting the virus. You know, I wonder how many people out there are still kind of hesitant to start looking for work.
I think there are people, as we discussed this a long while ago, about the people at either end of the spectrum. There are people who think this whole thing has been a hoax,
Right.
and it's criminal that we shut down and ruined our economy or work toward getting President Trump out of office by using it. It didn't work with Ukraine. It didn't work with Russian collusion. It didn't work with anything. Then they thought they had it with this COVID-19. So there are people who think it's a hoax, and there are people who we're going to have a hard time getting out of the house ever again because they're so scared.
Right.
Honey,
Right.
what was that guy's name that he did some work, dropped some stuff off for us, but his wife is making Jim Honeycutt and his wife, Chris, and she is sewing masks. And she's, it had to happen. She's making them so that they're more comfortable.
Oh, that's nice.
So she has kind of a knitted, I don't know, crochet. Here we go.
Sure. Right. Yes.
On the back. So this one doesn't have it. Oh, you put it. Oh. So this is a separate piece that she makes, and it goes onto the back of the mask to go behind your neck.
Oh, that's
instead
nice.
of just just the ears stuff. We probably shouldn't be showing this because I'm just going to guess they didn't pay for the Tiger's rights to do.
What a great mask, though. That's
but it's
awesome.
a great mask.
Yes.
Is she online or anything? Do you know? We bought some of them, but she'll find out. We'll have.
Yeah, that's good. It would be good to know, Deb.
Yep. And we're getting ready to wrap up the on-camera portion as the show continues. I hope you stay with us on social media and at 760 on the WJR at 6:14.
This report is sponsored by the Michigan Health and Hospital Association. If you have Michigan Auto Insurance, big changes are coming to your medical coverage as of July 1st. Learn how to stay safe with full protection at driveprotected.org. Funded by the Michigan Health and Hospital Association.
WJR traffic and weather first, and at about 6:15 or so, Rich Luzinski is in. Richard.
WJR Traffic First is also sponsored by the Carpenters Labor Management Partnership Team.